Good evening, everybody. Pleasure to be part of this session. I'll be talking very briefly on literature search. Like Shreyas mentioned, it's impossible to cover this in 6 minutes, so I've hidden a lot of my slides. I have no financial disclosures, and I thank AIOS for this opportunity and the scientific committee and ARC as well. So even before I begin with literature search, all of us like to see our name on PubMed. Very often we keep going and entering our name there and searching, how many papers am I in, where have I got, mentioned. So PubMed is the place to go most often for literature search. But even before you do that, it can help you in a lot other things. Even before you submit, how does it help is it helps us determine whether the particular article that we are writing or we are going to cite that particular article in is within the scope of that journal. So it makes sense to go through, see the journal specifications, see what are the other things that particular journal is publishing on at that particular time. So then you have a better chance. Now everywhere it's COVID. So you want to see whether they're also keen to take in COVID papers or they've reached that point where they're not taking any more papers. It therefore helps us also to select the right journal, whether research, clinical, general, specialty, subspecialty, surgical or medical, animal versus human studies, imaging versus clinical. So these are the different types of manuscripts also that you can choose from. Once you go into literature search, you're also going to get more information about the different other types. We are also fixed on writing an original article or a case report. But if you actually go into submit and you start looking for things, you'll realize there are so many more options. So these are some of the special and some of them are invited only. So we need to be very clear about what we're writing for. So, coming to literature search per se, why are we searching for literature? Because we want to know what is already published in the world so that we're not writing on the same thing. This will basically increases our chances of getting accepted. And also, we want to know what is the best available evidence in the community. So we want to be able to quote that in our own papers. Again, it improves our chances of getting acceptances. So literature search is basically about finding the right articles, but it's not necessary that they're freely available articles. Most of them think that you're going to PubMed, you're going to be able to get all these full text articles. It's not so. I would also suggest that you personalize your PubMed. Going to the website, of course, there's a new website now. You can click on my NCBI and register for an account. This is really helpful because it helps store your searches. It helps make a bibliography of your own articles so that you don't have to keep searching back. So the minute you have your article coming on PubMed, you can directly send it to your bibliography. It's stored there and you can retrieve it whether to enter it into your CV or otherwise. You can also create a link of your articles and send it. If you make it public, you can send it to others. So if they want to see what all you've published, it becomes very easy and it's there at one place. What is PubMed? It's an index to thousands of biomedical journals that are published worldwide. It is compiled in the National Library of Medicine in the US. And when you search for PubMed, you get a list of references of what is published in these journals. It's also called as a bibliography. So you can see the authors there. You can see abbreviations of the journal title, very important because you are expected to quote it the same way. You'll see the publication details, when it was published, and you'll also see the article title most importantly. Now, it is what you need to know is that PubMed does not necessarily provide the full text of the articles. It gives you a link to the reference to the journal website. Okay, if the journal is freely available online, you can take it from there, or you may need to pay for it. So you should never say that you found the article in PubMed because it's never there in PubMed. You found it through PubMed. So now coming to the Boolean logic, there are a few terms that you need to know: this, or, and. These are important things. So basically, why do you use or why do you use not, and why do you use and? Now what you need to know is and is the default operator used in PubMed. It is used to retrieve a set of which each citation contains all the search elements. So if you look at salmonella separately or hamburger separately, but if you look at salmonella and hamburger, it gives you 12. So it definitely gives you fewer results. So and contains terms together, which gives us less results, or contains at least one of the terms, which obviously gives us more results, and not contains the first term but not the second one, again less results. So bibliographic record, like I mentioned before, has a title, the author, the journal name, the year, and more. So when you're searching, you can search for a word or phrase just in the title of the article. Here we are searching only for diabetic retinopathy. You can search for something written by the author. Here, if you can see there, it's Wilson author. All those articles have come. You can even shorten it or expand it based on the full name or the first name. You can search for articles in a specific journal. Here, if you put the journal title and give the code, you will get all the articles in that particular journal. So these are some important field searches. So I'm not going to the examples because that would be very long. But these are actually important because it helps us to fine tune your search and make your search more specific for your particular article. I do want to go into this incomplete reference option because many of us just have few title words. We may not have everything. So look at the single citation matcher. It's very, very useful, wherein you enter the journal, you enter few details and the title words, and you actually manage to get the entire citation. So this is something that I would urge you all to use, and also how to quote the reference. So full text, these are some of the places where you can get it online in libraries. You can get full text journals. You can get some other links where it is available. So this is some of the checklist on how to get your article. Make a single point, build credibility, include reviewers and editors' references. It does help. And what then and what now is an important thing if you can put in your conclusion. And don't put too many references in the intro. Evenly distribute over the PMRC and let the paper flow. Not every piece of research is, goes into being a good paper. And don't cut it too thin as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Chaitra. That was a wonderful presentation. What is that one message you would like to give to the postgraduates to motivate them for this kind of research?
Yeah, so I think I would say start small, but think big. What happens is we always target big and we fall. So start off with small things. I keep telling them, it could be a case report, it could be a letter to the editor even. Don't aim too high and be disappointed by rejects. When you have these small successes, it definitely gives you a confidence to write probably even a review article in a couple of years.
Dr. Krishna Prasad, you would like to ask something?
I think Chaitra is probably the veteran in this particular topic. I've heard her many times. Every time, she normally stops, encouraging people to do that. I think great job, Chaitra. I think more and more things should come from you so that more PGs can actually, start looking into the existing literature to create something new. Thank you very much. That was an excellent presentation all over again.
Thank you.
I think Chaitra was one of the youngest persons to be doing so much for the Indian Journal of Ophthalmology when Dr. Natarajan was taking care of it. She was taking care of everything and doing so much, and I'm sure she learned so much over there also.
Yes,
but thank you so much for your talk. Thank you so much for your talk.
Still a learning process, Satyajit, but thanks for those nice words, and thanks, KP sir. Pleasure to speak on this forum.